There comes a time in your life when you sit quietly with your own heart and realize you are carrying wounds that no one can see. The kind of wounds that come from people you trusted, people you believed in, people you let into the most delicate parts of your soul. And in those moments of stillness, you try to understand why God would allow such deep hurt to enter your life. You ask Him why He didn't stop it, why He didn't protect you from the very people who were supposed to care for you. But what you don't realize in those painful moments is that God allowed the breaking not to destroy you, but to transform you into someone strong enough to walk into the destiny He prepared for you. Sometimes God lets people break you because He sees what you cannot. You see their potential, but God sees their pattern. You see their kindness in moments, but God sees their character in private. You see who they could someday become, but God sees who they truly are right now. And because your heart is loyal, because you love deeply and genuinely, you hold on to people longer than your journey allows. If God didn't allow them to hurt you, you would still be giving your time, your energy, and your peace to people who were silently limiting your future. He allowed the breaking because He knew you wouldn't leave on your own. There were signs you ignored, the uneasy feeling, the changing tone in their voice, the sudden distance, the moments that didn't feel right. You convinced yourself it was nothing, that things would get better, that you just needed to try harder. But God doesn't want you living on temporary hope. He wants you living in truth. So when you didn't walk away from what was draining you, He allowed their actions to become the final push you needed. Sometimes your heart can't let go until it's broken. And when the breaking came, it wasn't to punish you. It was to free you. When someone breaks you, it doesn't just expose who they are. It exposes who you are too. It reveals the strength you didn't know you had. It shows you the resilience that lives inside you. It uncovers your capacity to heal, to rebuild, and to rise again. The breaking teaches you how deeply you can love, how fiercely you can forgive, and how powerfully you can grow. You start to see your own value in a new way. You learn to recognize what your spirit needs instead of what your emotions crave. And slowly the pain that once felt unbearable becomes the teacher that awakens your soul. It is easy to look at the wound and think the breaking weakened you, but the truth is, it purified you. Pain has a way of clearing out everything that does not belong to your destiny. It removes the illusions. It uncovers the truth you were afraid to face. It strips away the pieces of yourself that were tied to people who were never meant to stay. God used the breaking to cleanse your spirit from connections that were holding you back. Even if you didn't realize it at the time, He used the breaking to restore parts of you that you had been neglecting, to rebuild areas of your heart that were fragile, and to reshape the path you were walking. The people who broke you were comfortable with the old version of you, the version that tolerated disrespect, the version that stayed silent to keep the peace, the version that lowered its standards just to feel accepted. But the future God has for you requires a stronger version of you, a wiser version of you, a more spiritually grounded version of you. And sometimes the only way to become that version is through the pain that forces you to grow. Pain stretches you. Pain matures you. Pain reveals you. And even though the breaking felt unfair, it was preparing you for blessings that the old you could not carry. There were doors God wanted to open for you, but you were too entangled with people who were blocking the way. There were opportunities waiting, but your heart was attached to distractions. There was healing available, but you were trying to hold on to people who benefited from your brokenness. God couldn't elevate you while you were tied to weights. He couldn't bless you while you were connected to inconsistency. So he let them walk away. He let them betray you. He let them disappoint you. Because had they stayed, they would have prevented the very growth God needed to bring into your life. You may still feel the sting when you think about what happened, but even the sting is proof that you're healing. It's proof that you're moving forward. It's proof that what once broke you is now teaching you. And slowly you begin to see how God was shaping something powerful out of your pain. You realize that you became more self-aware, more discerning, more spiritually sensitive, and more aligned with God's voice because of what you walked through. The breaking didn't close your heart. It opened your eyes. One day you will look back on the people who broke you and you will no longer feel anger or bitterness. You will feel gratitude, not because what they did was right, but because what God did through the situation was necessary. You will realize that if they never walked away, you would have never learned to stand alone. If they never betrayed you, you would have never learned discernment. If they never hurt you, you would have never discovered your strength. If they never left, you would have never grown into the version of yourself you are becoming now. And that is why God allowed the breaking, not to leave you shattered, but to rebuild you with stronger foundations, not to make you bitter, but to make you wiser, not to end your story, but to redirect it. The breaking was the turning point, the moment where your spirit began to rise, where your purpose began to awaken, where your destiny began to unfold. The breaking was the beginning of a new you, because what they broke in you, God is rebuilding, stronger, wiser, deeper, and more unshakable than before. And the version of you that is emerging now is the version that will walk boldly into everything God has prepared. The breaking did not end you. It freed you. It shaped you. It revealed you. And soon you will understand that the people who broke you were not a loss. They were a lesson that prepared you for the life God always intended for you.